Hi everyone, welcome back to Hoopsa. Today I'm starting something a little bit different on the channel, which is QPR match previews. I'm going to be posting these before every QPR fixture going forwards, and in each video I'm going to be joined by a guest from the opposition team. So if you like what you see here, please subscribe and keep an eye out for future instalments. Today I'm joined by Jack Buchanan, who is a Bristol City YouTuber. He does matchday vlogs, reactions, and lots of other great content. I'll pop a link to his channel in the description, so make sure you check him out and subscribe there as well. So let's get straight into it. Hi Jack, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, all good. Cheers. All good. Nice to have you on today for the match preview.
Thanks for having me on. It's good.
Yeah, no problem at all. Well, let's jump straight into it. Obviously, the big news this week is Liam Manning has joined as Bristol City's new manager, and we'll get onto that in a second. But let's talk about last weekend first. So obviously, Bristol City got back to winning ways with a 1-0 win away at Sheffield Wednesday. So what did you make of that match?
Yeah, it was a strong performance. We maybe got a little bit lucky. I think Barry Bannon's red card in the first half has been rescinded since then. Not entirely sure why. To me, it looked like a pretty clear red. Jason Knight was probably through on goal, but either way, that was the decision. But yeah, we Rob Dickie, obviously formerly of QPR, with the goal, and it was a strong performance with Curtis Fleming in as the interim manager, so no proper head coach so to speak. But yeah, I thought we did all right. We got the win. That was the most important thing, was to bounce back from that Derby Day loss in Cardiff.
Yeah, absolutely. And so let's talk about Manning then. What do you make of that appointment? Obviously, I know there was a bit of shock from yourself and other Bristol City fans that Pearson had departed. And obviously the general feeling had been that he'd done a pretty good job despite a sort of lack of financial backing from the owners. So yeah, what are you thinking on that?
I think I'm very happy with Manning. I think the general consensus is it's a shame that Pearson's had to go for Manning to come in, if that makes sense. Because I don't think anybody would have, or very few people at least, would have chosen to get rid of Pearson. But once he did, I think Manning was probably most people's first choice. Few people wanting the likes of Lampard and Eustace. Lampard, I don't think, was ever really on the cards from what the board have said in like various interviews and things like that. It was just one of the bookies' favourites. Obviously, big name out of work.
I think that might have been a bullet dodge, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with Liam Manning. I think if you go for his track record, other than that slight blip at MK Dons where he kind of started their surprise relegation last year, but a loss of that, was down to having some key players sold from out under him, like the likes of Scott Twine and stuff like that. So I'm very happy with it. I'm excited to see what he can do, and hopefully we can get off to a winning start on Saturday as well. Would be key.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, what does it look like now under Manning? Is he going to get some backing? Because, to prize him away from that job at Oxford this season, obviously they're second in the league. They've had a really good start. You would assume he wanted to sort of build something there. So to prize him away from there, he must have had the promise at least of some financial backing in January, you would imagine.
I'd like to think so. He certainly seemed, from what I've looked into with Oxford this season, sort of before we linked with him, but then obviously more so since it's come out that we were going to bring him in. He seemed to demand financial backing there, and rightfully so. And he's obviously done very, very well with the recruitment strategy up there. So hopefully we can do the same. We're sitting on this big pile of like 25 million quid from the Alex Scott sale last year that for whatever reason we didn't want to give to Pearson. Sorry, last summer. But yeah, hopefully they'll back Manning in January, and hopefully he's got sort of 6-7 weeks to work out who it is he wants.
Yeah, for sure. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because obviously, 2 weeks ago, this fixture could have been Nigel Pearson v Gareth Ainsworth, and now both clubs have kind of switched to younger, hopefully more progressive managers. Seems to be a bit of the kind of thinking at the moment across the league. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So manager aside, tell me about Bristol City's season so far. Obviously, it's 6 wins, 3 draws and 6 losses. So what have you made of the 15 matches that Bristol have played so far?
I think I'm yet to see us, I reckon twice, I think we've actually been outplayed or outclassed this season, like completely. Like Birmingham at home, we were very poor, and they were by far the better side when they were sort of really taken off under Eustace at the start of the season. And then Cardiff away a couple of weeks ago, which was the game that led to Pearson being sacked, we were pretty poor. But again, we had a lot of injuries. I think we had like 12 first-team players out that day, and had to field various debutants and players out of positions and things like that. But those are the only two games I've come away from being like, oh, that was pretty poor. And other than that, we haven't been like out of a game completely yet this season. I don't think. It's always kind of had that feeling of we could still nick something here. Like Cardiff and Birmingham. I think the second goals didn't come until after like the 85th minute or something like that in those 2-0 losses. So it's kind of like we always seem to just be on the edge. And if a couple of little bits go your way, then I'm hoping that we can turn those losses into draws and a couple of the draws into wins with a bit of luck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this league is often about fine margins, isn't it? And like you say, if Manning can kind of tighten up in the right places, then hopefully, you'll be moving up the table. So who should QPR fans be on the lookout for? Who should we be worried about on Saturday? Obviously, I know Rob Dickie has now scored 2 match winners for Bristol City.
He has.
He had a penchant for scoring some long-range screamers for QPR. I really wouldn't be surprised if he unleashes one at Loftus Road on Saturday. I really hope he doesn't. But yeah, who else should we be keeping an eye out for?
Sam Bell's been brilliant so far for us this season. I think he's either our top scorer or joint top scorer now, maybe. I think he's got 4 or 5 goals. He started really strongly, and he didn't start on Saturday for whatever reason under Fleming. But I'm hoping that under Manning, he probably suits his style very, very well from what I've seen at Oxford. Sort of that high pressing, high intensity player. And I'm hoping that he comes in over Andy Vyman, who's been pretty poor recently. So yeah, Bell Conway needs to get back to scoring. He came back from injury in sort of early October, scored a brace off the bench at Rotherham, and then hasn't really got going since then. It's been a bit of a shame, but equally we haven't really created that many chances for him. In all fairness, and then like you said, of course, Rob Dickie has started scoring for us. We're yet to see one of his long range belters, but hopefully he can whip one of those out on Saturday.
Well, I'm pretty sure, I think it was start of the season before, start of sort of the previous season before last. He scored about 3 of them in the opening 4 weeks, and 2 of them were at Loftus Road. So he's pretty confident in them there.
Maybe.
Yeah. And obviously I'm thinking about other ex-Rangers players. Nahki Wells is injured, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's not been great this season either, to be fair. My favourite Wells memory, funnily enough, does also come at Loftus Road, where he scored that last-minute winner a couple of years back.
Yeah, that's why I was checking, to be honest, to make sure he's not
probably
got
the peak of his Bristol City career so far. He's not been as good as we hoped, I don't think.
He's been quite patchy at Bristol, hasn't he? Obviously, QPR were hoping to sign him when he was on loan at Rangers, and I think some people felt it's a shame that he didn't manage to stay permanently at QPR, because he did fit at least Mark Warburton's style of football really well. But it seems like it's been a bit patchy for him at Bristol.
Yeah, he never really got going when he first came in under Lee Johnson. Then obviously lockdown happened. We've had various changes of manager. Dean Holden for a little bit didn't really fancy Wells much, and then he fell back into favourite points under Pearson. But yeah, he's just never really got going for us, unfortunately.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so to round us off, let's get your score prediction for Saturday.
I'm going to go. I was looking earlier. I think you've got to go back to like late 2017 when we last dropped points at Loftus Road. So I'm pretty confident. I want to go with a 3-1 City win. I reckon we're gonna come out under Manning and hopefully get a nice, like, convincing win before the international break.
Yeah, I mean, a 3-1 win will not be ideal for us before the international break, especially obviously QPR's kind of winless run at home now stretches back to March. Marty Cifuentes is going to be hoping he can get a win at the first attempt at Loftus Road to try and overturn that poor form. Right, well, thank you very much for joining us today, Jack. Make sure that you check out Jack's content. Obviously, he has his own YouTube channel, which I'll include the link in the description. And good luck for Saturday.
Perfect. Thank you, mate. Nice one.